What if your child could walk down the hallways of their school without being judged? This group of 100 or so teens is about to experience a one-of-a-kind anti-bullying program. Our cameras are there to capture transformations you have to see to believe. For thousands of Canadian kids, school is a terrifying ordeal, a gauntlet of harassment. In every single school, bullying is there. Kids are being picked on and brutalized every single day. The devastating impact of bullying became a heartbreaking reality for a Victoria area family in 1997. 14-year-old Rena Verk made national headlines after she was swarmed by schoolmates, beaten and drowned. 2 years later, tragedy in Taber, Alberta. A troubled young man, said to be ridiculed by his classmates, walked into the high school and opened fire with a sawed-off shotgun. One teenager was killed, another seriously wounded. In late December of 2004, a 15-year-old Strathroy, Ontario boy was overwhelmed by years of relentless bullying. His father found his lifeless body hanging from their backyard tree. In November 2000, Cindy Wesley buried her 14-year-old daughter, Dawn Marie. A young Mission, BC girl had left a suicide note before hanging herself. In it, she said some of her female classmates threatened to kill her. She felt compelled to quit.
And it's hard to know that for some of these ladies that have stood here with me this week, that their own children have had those thoughts for the exact same reason.
These families are left to wonder what might have been if they'd seen the signs earlier, if they intervened sooner. An intense one-day workshop created by an American husband and wife team promises to tear down the walls of separation and create connections, motivating kids to be more compassionate and respectful. Rich and Yvonne Dutre St. John's started nearly 20 years ago. They've reached hundreds of thousands of youth across the U.S. Their program is Challenge Day. These Strathmore students at Holy Cross Collegiate are given a chance to experience what this unique program promises to offer. A lot of them want their school to be different, especially the Bauhaus family. Their 14-year-old son Patrick is at risk of developing lifelong emotional scars. Despite his family's involvement with school administration, they tell his parents boys will be boys. The teasing is harmless, but the taunting doesn't let up.
We started noticing a big change in his attitude. All of a sudden he didn't want to go to school. He'd come home from school really, really upset.
The Challenge Day team knows the overwhelming burdens kids carry with them, and they've come up with a one-of-a-kind program that could take away their all-consuming hurt.
We have a disease, we call it terminal uniqueness. I'm so different, it's going to kill me. I'm the only one who's ever experienced this. And what kids get to see in Challenge Day is that they're not alone, and not only that they're not alone, but they can actually turn the person next to them for support.
They were inspired to create this program because of their own experiences with bullying when they were teens.
I was a little boy, got picked on and bullied all the time, and then I grew up, and next thing I know I'm in the jock group and I'm bullying people. And I felt ashamed of what I did.
Canadian singer Alanis Morissette is on the Leadership Council for Challenge Day.
I intuitively, choose whatever charities or, organizations I align myself with, and when it came to Challenge Day, it just, everything about it really resonated with my soul's purpose. My experience in high school was one of just feeling disconnected, and I know that I'm not alone in having had that experience. It's such a vulnerable time of defining oneself.
I can walk into a room in the morning and have everybody doing that like, I am so cool thing, way too cool for this. And then they get that secret. We tell them that secret, that the people that are bullying you have been bullied themselves. And if you're bullying, it's because there's hurt in there. And there's something about telling that simple truth that gives them an experience, an excuse to talk.
There's lots of kids that I see in the hallways, making fun of kids or laughing at them because of something they wear or how they look.
There's always that group that picks on someone else, and there's always hurt and pain, and you can see it.
Where did we all learn how to tease, judge, and separate? I want you please to be noticing what your relationship is like right now with each person you're looking at.
I know that they go in with the intention to be loving and to listen. And I think that is the greatest gift that you can not only give anyone, but particularly a young person.
After a day of learning, accepting, and shedding vulnerabilities, the kids hit their emotional peak and figure out what this day is all about.
I would like to apologize to a friend of mine because I backstabbed him too many times. I've called him names. I've been so and that friend of mine is Jared.
I just want to say that I'm going to make sure that I stop teasing people at school, because what has happened to me hurts, and that's the reason why I've teased other people.
At the beginning of the year, I misjudged all of them, just because I didn't even know them, and I'm really sorry for anything I ever said or did to them.
But the kids in this room are waiting to see who has the courage to face Patrick.
I want to apologize to Patrick.
You want to say sorry to Patrick?
And I have to apologize to Patrick for all the years of bullying I've done to him, so sorry for that.
I want to apologize for Patrick, because in grade 5 when I first came to this school, I got into the wrong crowd, and they were all against you, and I was scared that I was gonna get bullied myself, so I started to bully you, and I just want to ask that you'll forgive me.
When they were all apologizing to me, I was like, wow, thank you so much, guys.
He said, I've never seen Patrick look so free.
And not only free from the fear of bullies.
Free of all the baggage, he knows now, not just in his head because we've told him, but in his heart, that he didn't deserve it.
But there's another unexpected breakthrough for Patrick, and no one is prepared for what's about to happen next.
My first thought was, please, please don't embarrass him. Don't humiliate him. Because he's had enough.
Why don't you stand on this chair right here? And if in this moment you think he's perfect just the way he is and you want to celebrate him, would you get in front of your chair and give this guy a great big round of applause?
When that room exploded, I lost it. Patrick's standing there grinning and crying and laughing, and you could tell he was completely overwhelmed and didn't have a clue how he was supposed to respond to that, and was looking at these people that had haunted him for years. There's no words to describe that. Yeah, it was out of this world.
All of the groups just got completely obliterated. There's no way you could say that no one changed.
It was more than I could have imagined.
The Challenge Day's lasting impact is undeniable. I went back to the school nearly 3 months after their breakthrough to see what, if anything, had changed after they returned to class.
It's just so nice to see people, being friends with one another and not having to see like the put downs and all that awful stuff. So it's just nice for me to come to a school where everyone is at peace with each other.
I describe my school as a perfect school. With Challenge Day that happened, it changed the whole school completely.
Students stand up and call their mom over and apologize to their mom. Parents sitting there watching their child stand up and having other students stand up and apologize to their child how they've been treated. What an amazing emotional moment for our whole school.
Well, I'd like to see what society would be in 10 or 15 years after we got it into every school.
If this is something that can be achieved in a classroom or in a room or in a school, it portends for pretty amazing things that could wind up happening with the rest of the planet, between nations.
That I would be good.